Dear property selling professionals, this week's news bulletin is an interesting, helpful, and useful message to selling professionals like yourself. Also a refreshing news to buyers and owners too. Before announcing the news, may I introduce myself as Madam Sophia, the virtual assistant to CTM Joseph NG, your sales and marketing e-coach and e-mentor. Here it goes. Red hot news doing away with R.P.G.T will likely boost property market. Pedaling Jaya, doing away with the real property gains tax, R.P.G.T, is a right move as it puts more cash in the hands of businesses and the people amid the recovery. Real Estate and Housing Developers Association, REHDA, Malaysia President Datuk Som Hung Chun said the move will help stimulate the property market. The R.P.G.T was initially introduced to curb speculation when the property market was buoyant. However, under the current soft market conditions, we welcome this move. It will help invigorate the property market, making it more resilient and translate into a positive multiplier effect on the economy. REHDA appreciates that the government has taken into account our proposal to abolish the R.P.G.T, he said here yesterday. REHDA National Council member Tony Koo also lauded the move, saying it will promote real property investment, especially for commercial property. Many businesses will wait until next year to dispose of their property to enjoy the perks. This will certainly bring more positive effect on the commercial property market, he said. SME Association of Malaysia President Datuk Michael Kong, who previously called for the waiver, said the waiver will help ailing companies when they dispose of their properties for cash. This will result in companies having more cash in hand to turn their business around, he said. Finance Minister Tengku Padak Seri Zufrul Tengku Abdulaziz said that starting next year, Malaysians and permanent residents, including businesses, need not pay R.P.G.T when they dispose of their property assets on the 6th year onwards. It is also announced that RM2 billion worth of bank guarantees will be provided beginning next year through the Housing Loan Guarantee Scheme to help people with no fixed income and no proof of income to own a house. Tengku Zafrul said this comes after many complaints from gig workers, small business owners, and farmers on the difficulties of getting housing loans. Some of them are capable of servicing the loans but have no proof of their income, he said, adding that this scheme will provide financing access for these groups to have a roof over their head. He said RM 1.5 billion will be allocated to help the low-income group to own a home because everyone from Keluarga Malaysia has the right to own a home. The allocation, among others, will ensure the continuity of Rumah Msrket and other aid schemes for the upkeep of the people's housing, affordable housing projects. SOAM welcomed both the loan guarantee scheme and public housing project, saying they will encourage more from the group towards home purchase as they now have easier access to financing. Associated Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, ACCHIM. President Datuk Lokian N. Chuan said the schemes are a lifeline for aspiring home buyers. Finance Minister Tengku Padak Seri Zufrul Tengku Abdulaziz said that starting next year, Malaysians and permanent residents, including Businesses, need not pay R.P.G.T when they dispose of their property assets on the 6th year onwards. It also announced that RM2 billion worth of bank guarantees will be provided beginning next year through the Housing Loan Guarantee Scheme to help people with no fixed income and no proof of income to own a house. Tengku Zafrul said this comes after many complaints from gig workers, small business owners, and farmers on the difficulties of getting housing loans. Some of them are capable of servicing the loans but have no proof of their income, he said, adding that this scheme will provide financing access for these groups to have a roof over their head. He said RM 1.5 billion will be allocated to help the low-income group to own a home because everyone from Keluarga Malaysia has the right to own a home. The allocation, among others, will ensure the continuity of Rumah Msrket and other aid schemes for the upkeep of the people's housing, affordable housing projects. SOAM welcomed both the loan guarantee scheme and public housing project, saying they will encourage more from the group towards home purchase as they now have easier access to financing. Associated Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, ACCHIM, President Datuk Lokian Chuan said the schemes are a lifeline for aspiring home buyers. End of Red Hot News. Source: The Star Papers, October 17, 2021. By the way, do you agree this is a red hot message? With all the assistances given by the relevant authorities, I believe selling and buying properties will skyrocket. We, in the real estate business will enjoy the fruits of banishing the R.P.G.T clause in buying and selling houses. True or not? You bet? Before I hand over this news bulletin, may I introduce my colleague Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph. She will present you with a free chapter of the ebook carefully crafted and published by CTM Joseph. It is entitled, How to Close Every Sale and Every Time. Until we meet again, this is Madam Sophia wishing you farewell and happy selling. Thanks a million.
Thank you, Madam Sophia, for allowing me to wind up this week's bulletin with a free chapter from the book entitled, How to Close Every Sales and Every Time. Trust me, this book has been painfully written and compiled by CTM Joseph NG. Before I forget, may I introduce myself as Madam Florence, another virtual assistant to CTM Joseph. Alright. Chapter 13, the doorknob, close quote. With this close, it helps to isolate the single most important problem and concentrate on solving it. The stumbling block may be fear, price, or just about anything else. When it is identified, you can zero in on it and avoid any secondary distraction. By Bryce Webster book, The Power of Consultative Selling. While you are reading this chapter, you may ask, what has sales closing has got to do with a doorknob? Hold your horses. Please don't jump to any conclusion yet, but do allow me to explain more. Okay. In truth, simply the words, doorknob, are catchy words for one method of closing technique. This is also sometimes known as the lost sales close. Believe me, it is indeed a powerful tool for closing in a salesman's arsenal. True. It may actually turn a lost deal into a signed contract. You are probably aware of the fact that prospects often lie when they give you the reason why they aren't buying your product. Not only does the doorknob method give you more sales, but it also reveals the real reason why you are turned down. By the way, it happens when the salesperson makes a presentation to a prospect who has tremendous sales resistance. Here, a reluctant customer is holding back. The prospect is now hesitating. Moreover, the prospect is not giving you an answer and will not make a buying decision yet. In such a situation, when you are about to leave from a sales presentation without a contract, pause for a while. When you, the salesperson, is about to push open the doorknob, hence the name of the technique, you instantly turn around and look at the prospect. Then you say, Mr. Prospect, before I leave, maybe you could help me out. You see, I'm completely green at selling and need some advice. What was the real reason why you didn't buy from me? Believe it or not, most people love to help others, and by saying that you are a complete rookie, even though you might have been working as a salesperson for several years, most prospects will try to give you some advice. Usually, they now give you another reason why they didn't buy. Well, we can't afford it just now, is a usual one. Hence, you have a second chance to close the deal. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You don't have to pay anything now. What if we divide it into 6 payments, starting next month? If you're lucky, they actually say, yes. Research has revealed that in 50 or 60% of cases, you or any salesperson can turn a sales situation around completely with this doorknob close. To back up my conviction, allow me to quote more words of Malcolm Bird, an international expert. To paraphrase in my own words, it should read like this: there will be times when you will be firmly and clearly sold that your product or service is not wanted. This result is always disappointing, but the professional salesperson will not be dismayed by it. Hence, this technique comes into play. Trust me, there is a key reason why a person will buy a product, and there is always a key objection or reason why he or she will not buy your product. Therefore, you cannot always sell until you find the objection. However, if you find it at the last minute, it is possible for you to sell. Similarly, once you find out the objection, you can turn around and answer the objection, and then you close. Furthermore, you are probably aware of the fact that prospects often lie when they give you the reason why they aren't buying your product. Faced with such a dilemma, not only does the doorknob method give you more sales, but it also reveals the real reason or reasons why you are turned down. Believable or not. Now that we are almost at the end of this chapter, it is only logical to wrap up this chapter with a succulent summary. Get my drift? Summary. The distilled paragraph of this chapter can be summarized in a few sentences. It must be clarified again, the words, doorknob, and its importance in the closing stage of the sales closing. Additionally, you must recall the doorknob is used as a reminder to try again to close the sale. It must also be kept in mind that the doorknob technique is basically used to find the real reason why the prospect is not going ahead. And the sales professional must overcome that objection to closing the sales fast. Conclusion: to reveal the truth and nothing but the truth, you must try this technique for a few weeks. You have nothing to lose since this is a sales you already have lost. In my personal experience in the marketplace, I must state here that it is an excellent method to use. Especially if you cannot fish out the reason why the prospect does not say yes to your proposal. Although this is one of the many methods to close the sales, do not underrate this doorknob technique as a ready and proven solution to close the sale. Agree or not? Until next time, happy selling. End of chapter 13. PS If you are interested to get hold of this ebook, How to Close Every Sale and Every Time, do place your order directly with the author himself at his email address josephsing@gmail.com or WhatsApps him at 60123-878-592. The offer of this book at $1 US$99 or RM8 is for a limited time. Okay.